What current barriers exist in the system that prevents teachers from teaching math for our 21st century diverse learners?
Wow. Wow, that's a big question too. Um, Barriers is a strong word. I think one of the things is, well, if I have to say a big time is one, right? Time is a major one when we think about time. The time that it takes to develop the relationship, the time that it takes to learn the content, the time that it takes to plan, the time that it takes to get to know your students and understand their needs. Those kinds of things are challenges that teachers have to then think and kind of overcome as well. Um, uh, I would say that structurally, when we think about schools, one of the things I wonder about is how do we break down the silos that teachers are communities within themselves to support broad learners? And so the idea what I mean by that is if we were a group, let's say we're middle school, we're all teaching seventh grade math. Wouldn't it be great if we were collaborative in our planning, collaborative in our teaching, have the fluidity that we can begin to share our knowledge base, but also share students in such a way that that we can meet students' needs. It's not that it that math becomes this sense of community not only for students but also for the teachers. And so I would love for my colleagues to come into my classroom and see what I'm doing, providing me feedback around what I'm doing. But also I would love to co-plan with my colleagues, to see where my blind spots are and the kinds of questions I may ask and the kinds of representations I use in my classrooms. Um, Teaching is so personal that sometimes as teachers we protect our spaces, and I want to open up that space, right? And build a sense of community that we can begin to teach as well. So I think that the limitations of where people may, so I understand. So sometimes when you're in a school building, the limitation where people are actually just kind of placed, right? you know, and getting to know one another, those informal spaces where teachers share that quick idea may not be as accessible to some teachers as it is to others. And so the informality of space I think a lot happens there, right? You know how they say in business sometimes, a lot of business decisions are made on the golf course. I think a lot of education decisions are made in the parking lot before and after school, and in the lunchroom, right, or wherever you may be. And so it's those kind of informal things as well, right? And how we begin to kind of build those connections. So structurally,